to answer it the way he wished. Mr. McGloin?
But we don't need to change the formula apparently because we get more than enough from Albany, right? Listen, 75% of the money that we spend in the city of Yonkers and in the Board of Education are salaries. The rest of the money are essentials like fuel and cost of equipment and cost of books. So I don't know where we're talking about cutting, but if you're talking about cutting teachers and talking about cutting school employees, I think you're gonna have a fight on your hands since we're trying to build them up to where they should be. As far as the money from Albany, we do not get enough money from Albany. Not only do we not get enough operating money from Albany, we also don't get enough money for our capital budget at home. Right now, we get 46 cents on every dollar that's spent on the classroom. And just to give you a comparison, Buffalo gets 98 cents on every dollar from New York State. Your money going to Buffalo, 93 cents for Rochester. Your money going to Rochester, and 90 cents for Syracuse. And they're smaller than us. And they get more money than we do, they get more operating money than we do, and a considerably higher percentage of the capital cost. We are entitled to more from Albany. We are fighting for more from Albany. We will get more from Albany. And to be an apologist and sit back and say Albany has done more than their share, they've given us plenty, is absolutely dead wrong and disingenuous for the people who live in the city. You're paying your hard tax dollars to an education system that's getting better. Albany, and it's their education system, by the way, Albany has got to provide more. It's their responsibility to bring the demand.
Hi, my question is for Mayor McGloin. My name is Jean Broderick. I live at 8 Northview Terrace in Yonkers. And Mayor McGloin, Council Member Robertson has indicated that there is no urgency on the part of the City Council to pass the current capital improvement program or CIP because there's $62 million that hasn't been spent yet from prior CIPs. Could you explain that to the crowd? Thanks.
If he said that, then it's obviously just continuing what he really feels because there was no urgency apparently to pass last year's or the years before. Because although it's supposed to be by charter, passed when the budget is passed, and that's on June 1st, City Council did not adopt the capital budget in the last 2 years until December, and this year it still has not been adopted. They have not brought it up to the vote. Those capital projects, 50 million of it, by the way, this year is for school improvements, 50 million out of the 98. Those capital projects are the things that happen in your neighborhood. They fix your streets, they fix your, rebuild your parks, and buy equipment for police and fire and sanitation. They fix your schools. That's where we're spending your money. And we don't spend it unwisely. It's not frivolous, and it's not extraneous stuff. It's the equipment and the projects that you need for your city. That's what you pay for, and you should see what you're paying for. The reason we haven't spent the $62 million, we just got it in April. They didn't even adopt the budget until December. We just got that money in April. It's hard to spend all that money now. Are we spending it? Yes. We've got all those projects now out to bid, under design. It's already committed. The fact that it hasn't been paid out only means that you don't pay it all out until the project is finished. You don't pay it all out until equipment is delivered. And that's when the money will finally leave the banks and leave the city's coffers. But is it already committed? It certainly is. It's been committed to the projects that we put in for it. And in some cases, 2 years ago, because they didn't approve it the first time, they cut it out and put it in the second budget. This is the 3rd year that capital budget, which is projects in your neighborhood, has not been approved on time.
Mr. Robertson?
Thank you. I would have voted for a CIP in July of this year. I just would have voted for one that was $17.8 million less than the one the mayor proposed. It's the mayor's responsibility to get 5 votes. There's a reason you need 5 votes for a CIP. It's because we're increasing your debt. We went, when this CIP gets passed, your debt would have doubled. The debt in the city of Yonkers would have gone to over $500 million. That represents over $55 million in the operating budget every year. We allocated $4 million for a water line in North Broadway, still waiting. We allocated $2.8 million for an animal shelter, still waiting. I've allocated money, the city council has allocated money for a new road, a Rumsey Road, still waiting. There are projects that we're waiting for, and the question that we ask the mayor is, why are you asking us to incur further debt until you finish the project that you have? That's our fiduciary responsibility as council people. I think this council has done an excellent job with the CIPs over the past several years.
And do we have
The question is for Mayor Mike Gloria Marioni, 40 Casillas Avenue. The question is, 4 years ago, when you took over, you addressed various neighborhoods. You talked about improving the Yonkers schools and how they would be better in 4 years than they were at that time. And I kept track of the scores, the math and ALA scores, and they've gone down pretty much, gone up and down. And I was wondering what your plan would be for the next 4 years to increase those scores, because I think that's paramount to the children getting a good education.
It is, and actually the scores are going up. In fact, the trend has been up over an 8-year period. And part of the reason they're going up is because of the changes that we've made. I have a board of trustees now that are real professionals and do what's right for the children. We have a superintendent of schools now who is an excellent superintendent of schools and understands the system. He's making changes even in the last 2 years. We now have our first high school on the west side in generation, Riverside High School. He's about to do another one, which he announced just yesterday, or day before yesterday, in his own town meeting, another high school on the west side. And he's even contemplating a third high school. He has gone from kindergarten through 8th grade because he's found out that the children who are in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, in the kindergarten through 8th grade, in the 5 schools that he did first, those children scored 14 to 18% higher on all the standardized tests of the same 6th, 7th, and 8th graders in the middle school model. So it's converting all of our elementary schools to kindergarten through 8th grade. Some of that's going to take expansion of school, that's going to take some capital monies that's still lying in the city council right now. But that's the kind of things that are being done to improve scores. The truth is, scores have steadily increased. Now, as anybody knows, anytime something increases over a 4, 5, or 6, or 7-year period, it goes like this. It doesn't go straight line, but they are steadily improving. And that's at the high school level, where we're graduating more of our students than we had before, and at the elementary school level, where we're testing children in more grades than we've ever tested before. And then the general trend, and I can provide you all the statistics from the superintendent who did so the other night himself, the general trend is improving test scores. That's a fact. The Commissioner of Education, in fact, complimented the city on the improvements that they've made over these past 7 years.
Thank you. Mr. Roberts?
The fact of the matter is, as you pointed out, that they're not improving. We have 1/3 of all of the must-improve schools in New York State, right here in Yonkers. We've added $150 million to the Board of Education in 4 years, and we are no better off than we were 4 years ago. The mayor talked about neighborhood schools. He's not built one school since he became mayor. He expanded a middle school, and they call it a new high school. Fine, K-8, great idea. We need to make the Board of Education, the people on the Board of Education need to be accountable to the people who use the education system. Our Board of Trustees do not reflect the people who use our schools. That needs to change. We need to get away from the statistical spin. We need to create real neighborhood schools, so you have the choice, if you so choose, to use the Yonkers school system to go to the school in your neighborhood. In order to do that, we have to build more schools. We need to also give you a choice to go to a magnet school if you choose to do that. The mayor did not do what he promised he was going to do 4 years ago. Quite frankly, he walked away from the school system and didn't even address it. We had 2 meetings on the Department of Education. A room like this, people came in, yelled at the mayor and others, and they just backed away. They abandoned their plan. You gotta have the courage to stick to your plan. That's what you believe in, and see it through to its conclusion.
Thank you, gentlemen. Our